Welcome to Petology, your one-stop information spot for all things fuzzy, fury, feathery, and scaly. I'm your host, Blair Malstravich, and throughout the course of the show, we'll have expert guests ready to answer your pet questions. But that's not all. We also have great pet demos showing you owners out there how it's done. And to do just that, here is Sammy Marr of Smart Dogs. Sammy, make your way out here.
Hey,
Who's
Blair.
this?
This is Capone, and he's a one-year-old pit bull.
So what are you going to be showing us today?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about kind of two styles of training. We typically refer to them as old school and new school. So the old school style of training is using corrective measures, so using prong collars, choke chains, physically manipulating a dog, pushing down on them, forcing them to do things. The positive reinforcement way of training is acknowledging what the dog is doing right. So when they do a behavior you want, Capone, sit, and then giving him a treat really gives him encouragement to continue doing that behavior. So when using the old school training, it puts a lot of stress on a dog. You can see how he right now is like, what do you want me to do next? What do you want me to do next? If I was screaming at him and yanking on him and manipulating him every time he got up, he wouldn't want to do things. But with positive reinforcement training, he wants to learn, he wants to do the next trick.
See, in that way, that's very much like humans. We definitely react to positive reinforcement instead of negative reinforcement. Yeah. Some people might try it, but positive is definitely the way to go.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the, sadly there are people who still are involved in the old school way of doing it. What are some of the negative effects it can have on animals?
Well, like I said, it definitely keeps a dog from trying. It can definitely cause anxiety and stress. It can hurt a dog, so it can cause dogs to be shy, and even bringing out things such as aggression, because finally the dog goes, you know what, you've been forcing me to do something for so long, or yelling at me, that eventually they just say, hey, leave me alone, human.
So let's go through some of the very basic things, and well, you can show us a little more of that positive reinforcement, and then we'll get to some pretty snazzy things, so I'm excited about that. But let's just do the basics to start.
So the basics is I always use treats, and I call that, this is the dog's paycheck, right? Okay. So if they're getting a paycheck, they want to keep working. I love my job, I'm sure you love your job, but the paycheck is a good bonus. So if I want Capone to sit, I'm going to take a really yummy treat, put it above his head, and get his butt down, and as soon as it goes down, give him the treat. So again, it's treat to the nose, straight back, and he gets the cookie, right? Say we want to teach him to down. I'm going to take the treat, and I'm going to bring it down with him, and as soon as he hits the ground, I'm going to give him that treat. So right to his nose and bringing him down like that. So those are just a few very basic things, and you can also take it a bit further into the trick part where, say, an easy trick, teaching your dog to spin in a circle, taking that treat, putting it to the nose, and turning him in a circle.
Oh, nice.
And they get to do something kind of fun. Right? He likes it. Good boy, right? And you can see he wants to do this. This is a one-year-old dog that I've only had for a few months, rescue. And with all the distractions, he's choosing to be here because I'm giving him his paycheck, giving him a reason.
All these lights, all these people here, tails still wagging, excited, and focused on you.
Yes.
Definitely, and ready to learn. Now, this is just one example of the many dogs, of course, you work with. A year ago, we were actually able to pay a visit to Smart Dogs. Yeah. So let's take a look at that story.
Ready? Let's go hop.
A dog lover helping out our furry friends.
Hey, good girl.
It may look like fun and games, but these dogs are in therapy. Sammy Marr is the owner of Smart Dogs, a rehabilitation and training facility at Rough House Boarding Kennel in Toulon, Manitoba.
Yeah.
A large group gathering like this is a crucial step to a dog's development or rehabilitation. It's all about socialization.
When dogs are not exposed to other dogs, people, and situations, they can become fearful or aggressive in those situations when they're older, and that's what makes an unsafe dog.
The facility also does one-on-one training for obedience or behavioral issues like aggression, possession, separation anxiety, and fear. Growing up around all types of animals, Sammy started training dogs at 18 and by 20 made it a career. Now in her 30s, she can't help but smile when talking about connecting with the dogs.
When you're trying to teach the dog something and you see that dog's face light up and they go, aha, this is what you want me to do, whether it's teaching them a trick or teaching them not to jump on a person or not to bark at something or not to be afraid of something.
Good girl, Mari.
Sammy partners with local rescues in the province for Rehab for Rescues, working with dogs that can't go into foster care.
Good girl,
she tackles their issues with the hopes of giving the dog a chance to be adopted.
Boy.
Sammy does everything in her power to save a canine companion from euthanization, but accepts the reality that comes with her profession.
Down. Sometimes people are trying to save a dog when really that dog is not safe. That dog is going to hurt another dog, another person. Dogs that are constantly feeling that they need to bite and growl and be aggressive are not happy in their own mind. So sometimes we are giving those dogs a piece by allowing them to humanely be euthanized.
Many of the dogs you see here were scheduled to be euthanized. Sammy reminds owners it takes a lot of hard work and time to help and teach a dog new behavior.
We need to give dogs a chance to learn our customs and our language and what we want them to learn to do. So we definitely have to have the patience and the understanding so they can learn to communicate in our way.
To learn more about Sammy Mar Assessment Rehabilitation Training or Smart Dogs, check out their Facebook page or roughhouse.ca. For Go Winnipeg, I'm Blair Balstravich. Now it's time for our guest experts to answer some audience questions. On our expert panel today, we have trainer and behaviorist Sammy Mar. She's been training dogs professionally for 12 years, learning from some of the best trainers in the world, studied at the Companion Animal Science Institute as a member of the Association of Professional Dog Trainers and the Professional Pet Guild, works with dogs who have aggression, fear, possession, and other behavioral issues. And then next to her, we have Dr. Colleen Omoro. Graduated with her degree in veterinary medicine in 1977, opened an animal hospital in 1981, which she owned and operated until 2005. In 2003, she became a fellow of the Academy of Veterinary Dentistry, and in 2005, a diplomat of the American Veterinary Dental College. And she has lectured in the United States, Canada, Brazil, and has published several articles. Thank you guys for joining me today. That's a lot of expert experience we have right here. I almost couldn't even get through it all. But let's see what we got from some of our viewers. We're gonna look, we have a magical screen over here that you guys can't see at home, but we're gonna read this email from Marion. Now, you guys can take your turns, decide who wants to answer, but let's just go through this one. So it says, I'm looking for a dog and I am from a household with me and my female